Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at a Pokemon that nobody talks about, and I don't know why, because the Golisopod has access now to the move Liquidation, and honestly, while it looks pretty bad on PvPoke and whatever, it played so well when I tried to play it today. And honestly, I was so surprised about it, but a lot of meta matchups you're now going to be able to win pretty easily or just do a lot of damage. As before, this Pokemon lacked any kind of decent charge move, now you finally have one here with the Liquidation doing half to the Skarmory, and we can even hit another one against them here right now. Coming through, gonna get the shield from the opponent, getting the defense drop as well, and we can still get to another move here with our good friend Golisopod getting both shields from the opponent here first game. As you're going to see here as well during this video, this Pokemon can be insane. This Pokemon charges up super fast to its charge moves and is doing a ton of damage with the Shadow Claw as a fast move, which is most likely the best fast move in the game, as well as you're going to do some nice damage with the Liquidation now, getting out also some of the hardest counters for yourself. And also we're going to pair it together today with the Pokemon Registeel, which is going to be also a fun one to use, as this Pokemon will be able to beat a lot of the current meta Pokemon out. Same goes, of course, for the Golisopod. Both of them have the exact same what's called typing here, with a bug typing as well as the water typing. Why is this so important? Because a lot of Pokemon right now, unlike this Quagsire, which can be a little bit of a problem here, which you're going to troll a little bit by going for 3 charge moves in a row. Other than the Quagsire here, of course, there are a lot of Pokemon that currently run Ice plus ground type moves, like the Walrein, and like the Dugong, like the Alolan Sandslash. And all of those moves are getting resisted by our Pokemon in the back, which is really nice for us. And even though Alolan Sandslash looks like a bad matchup because you have a Steel type against a Bug type, which usually uses Bug type moves, but it's still just a very decent matchup because you don't really get damaged too much there. You can debuff them and you're still going to be able to just bug bite them down there. And here we're going to encounter now also a new addition for this meta, which I kind of want to take a look at eventually as well, which is going to be the Drifblim with the move Mystical Fire. This is going to be also a very good addition for the meta, as this Pokemon will now be able to even beat something like a Registeel, as you saw there, did a lot of damage, and I think in the 2-shield scenario you usually lose with a Registeel, which is kind of wild. But still, we're going to get out now the opponent's Registeel here, and we now see the matchup for our Golisopod. And as you can see here, we can just go to town and do a ton of damage against the opponent, and actually going to get the final shield of the opponent as well, catching the charge move of them as well here, with our own Registeel Zap Cannon coming through. And we're gonna get out the Deoxys now, which allows us now to go into our Araquanid having super effective fast move damage here, which is going to do a ton of damage against them, as you can see there. We just have to hit one more Bug Buzz and we will be able to just one-shot the opponent here at this point of time. So it's going to be a very decent matchup for me. Boom, bye-bye there, Deoxys. In comes now most likely the Drifblim again, which is going to be still a little bit of a trickier one to deal with, but they go straight for their charge move, which is really good for me because now I can swap out into my Golisopod. I have Liquidation, but they're gonna go ahead and go into their Registeel. And you see here, Golisopod is just going to town, going to be able to farm them all the way down, and the Liquidation is going to hit them. The animation of Liquidation looks also so nice there. That was also a very nice rhyme. But we're going to be able to now see the next opponent having a Registeel in the lead again. The thing is, I would actually not recommend your Registeel in the lead for this team. I would recommend your Galarian Stunfisk instead, if you have that one. I sure went for Galarian Stunfisk in the beginning, but I was a little bit too scared of something like a Pelipper, which would be definitely a little bit trickier, and Registeel is a little bit better for that one. But still, you're going to have some other matchups, like for example a Talonflame, like a Charizard or whatever, which you're going to be able to beat now, or like be better against with the Galarian Stunfisk compared to the Registeel, because you just charge faster to the Rock Slide. Here we're going to get out the Azumarill, which is not really ideal for us, but they're going to go ahead and go for the charge move basically immediately, which is going to be fine for us. We had them a little bit low, and it's going to put them into range for one Zap Cannon. But I don't really want to go for the Zap Cannon like completely immediately here, and I'm going to go for an Undercharge. And this Undercharge was literally perfect. As you're going to see here, they can still go for one charge move here, of course, but it's going to put us perfectly at 100 energy after we're done farming them all the way down here. Okay, like I think it's 95 energy here, but we will be able to go for another charge move here against their fighting type Pokemon. Zap Cannon coming through, going to get the shield, and we have now the Araquanid against the Medicham. Now we have to see how we're going to play this matchup out. It's going to be a little bit tricky, and they're going to go for a Psychic immediately, and they're going to get the defense drop here, and this defense drop is actually going to matter quite a bit, sadly, as this is only a 10% chance for it to happen. We're going to now get out the Registeel here, and if they wanted to, they could just go ahead and shield this move up and go for their own Zap Cannon and knock me out, but they actually don't do that for whatever reason. I should I don't know, I think I also misplayed this here a little bit, but the Psychic going to now put us into a range where they can count us down. I should have went for the Bubble Beam bait here, because the opponent going to definitely shield this one up anyway. I now force myself to try to hope that I can win this with the Registeel, and I might be able to actually win this with the Registeel, but I needed the debuff, but never mind. They run the Dynamic Punch anyway, so this is game, and there's not a lot that I can do here about this one. Kind of unfortunate. I think without the debuff there as well, it would have been a little bit better, because I just still had more health left. But it's going to be okay. We're going to see a Sandslash against us. What do we do against the Sandslash? We're of course going to swap out into Golisopod, which is going to be able to wall that in terms of the defensive typing here. The thing is, we're gonna get out the Sableye, we're gonna get the defense drop immediately, and now you can see why I just love this Pokemon. Honestly, as well with like X-Scissor here going to be the cheapest move to go for, you definitely want to have X-Scissor instead of Aerial Ace. Please don't run Aerial Ace. You're going to be able to just spam the opponent here, and we are just going to be able to farm them all the way down thanks to the defense drop that we had with our Crunch. Basically, the Liquidation is a Crunch clone. So here we're going to now be able to go for another charge move against the opponent. Sandslash going to get them low, which is going to be very nice. They can knock me out, but we even get another defense drop here with our Crunch clone. And we can now take this drill run, we can go ahead, go into our Arachnoid. Now you see why I love Arachnoid so much. It's way bulkier than the Golisopod and just going to be able to resist all the moves here. And you see already, we can just farm them down. And the opponent forfeited this time, as you see that the quest goes up there. If you haven't claimed that one yet, there is a quest right now in the shop where you can get it for free. Again, for the Go Battle League, we have to win 500 battles in total for the season to get some starters and some elite TMs, which is kind of nice. Again, same play here. We're going to have another Alone Sandslash here. We can take one Drill Run. We cannot really take another one though. So that's definitely, the Broguiere issue is definitely still there, but we're going to see the Medicham coming in. And as you're going to see here right now, Medicham is not going to appreciate the Liquidation too much, as we can go ahead and go for another one here as well. Going to be very nice for us. Is the Liquidation going to get shielded? They are not throwing anything yet, and I can go for another charge move against the opponent, allowing us now to get them super low. Sadly not low enough that we can knock them out immediately, but we can go ahead and go into our Registeel here, take the charge move, as they usually don't run any fighting type coverage, unlike the one that we had before. But now we can go ahead, go for a charge move against the opponent here. Deox is coming in and we can swap out into our Arachnoid. And as you can see here, we can just go ahead, go for one Bubble Beam even, let this move go through, they're all resisted. Try to debuff the opponent here so they don't do more damage against me either. And I will be able to now go ahead, farm them all the way down, get a ton of energy, and I should be able to pretty easily win this game here as well. As we're going to see here right now, the opponent going to go for one Drill Run. I can farm them all the way down. And we're going to see now the Deox is coming in. I go straight for the Bug Buzz. We are not going to bait here today. And this is going to work out pretty fine, as we can just one-shot the opponent and win this game. Next opponent, we're going to see a Sableye in the lead. This is a Shadow variant, which makes it a little bit worse, to be fair. Like, usually people shield the Zapcan here, which is the best play that you go for the Sableye, because you just take more damage. But luckily my opponent doesn't do that, allowing me to swap out now into the Golisopod. In comes the Quagsire, the Shadow variant. We can go for one charge move here, it's going to be the Liquidation. And we're gonna get another defense drop. This is very important for us here, as we now can shield up the Stone Edge from the opponent. We can go ahead, farm up a little bit extra, and go for our own X-Scissor here right now in order to try to knock out the opponent. In comes the Sableye. They only have one charge move stored right now, I think, and I can farm them all the way down here, which is going to be, never mind, they can still get to another move here, but it's going to be just a foul play, which you can still survive. We can go for one Liquidation, which seems a little bit weird first, but I want to get the debuff, and I think it does pretty much the same damage as my other move there. X-Scissor is a really bad move here, and at this point of time, we now have a Dewgong in a position where you can debuff them the entire time. They don't do damage with their charge moves anyway. We have the defense drop against the opponent as well, and we can just go ahead and knock them out here, as the opponent already gave up at this point of time, as the Golisopod were just able to flip switch, knock out the opponent's 2 Pokemon of them actually, and get the debuff onto the final one, which was just amazing. If you enjoyed this video, by the way, please feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate the recent support on the videos as well. Really means a lot to me. Yeah, we actually got like around 500 new subscribers in the last 4 days, which is really showing the hype for the upcoming season right now with the new move updates. So thanks for the support right now. As you're going to see here, I make a huge misplay in this matchup, by the way. I went into my Arachnoid instead of my Golisopod. Golisopod has the super effective fast move, of course, would have been the better play to go for. But as you're going to see here, it actually all turns out kinda alright. We're going to see the Frosters coming in, which we're going to be able to go ahead and go for one Liquidation against. Is this going to do a ton of damage against them? They're going to let this move go through, and we can swap out onto the Shadow Ball into our Registeel here, taking the charge move from them. Going to see now the Obstagoon coming in, and they don't want to throw immediately, which allows me to go for the Zap Cannon first, forcing the opponent to throw, I think, twice against me because of the debuff here right now. Or maybe, no, one time is enough here, definitely to knock me out. But at least I have forced them to throw, which is going to be very nice. We're going to now be able to take those moves a little bit easy as well. And you see the power still of Exeter. It's a garbage move, but still it's super effective here. And still it's going to two-shot the opponent, which is something that I actually didn't expect because Obstagoon is pretty bulky. But this will allow us to easily win this game now. And again, our Golisopod, we're just able to destroy 3 Pokemon in a row there, which is just wild. Next opponent, we're going to see a Jellicent against us. Allowing us to go for a Zap Cannon here is going to be a very decent matchup for our Registeel because of the Zap Cannon that got added onto the moveset like a year ago or something. But this is going to be now a very decent matchup. We're going to see the opponent letting this move go through. And what we're going to do here is because we have an ABB line, so we have to swap out if we have a neutral lead like this one here. We're going to swap into our Golisopod, allowing us to farm them down before they can get to a charge move. And now we're going to get out the Swampert. So they seem to be very weak to our Golisopod in the back, which is going to be very nice for us. We're going to get the defense drop immediately here, which is also nice. And I'm going to shield up just in case they have Sludge Wave or they go for the Earthquake. They go for the Hydro Cannon, which is going to be fine for me, as I will be able to go for another Liquidation here with our Golisopod, getting the final shield of the opponent, and we can now go ahead, shield up another charge move from them. It's going to be another Hydro Cannon, and another Liquidation is coming their way. We wouldn't have seen Peter here right now, and we can knock them out, and in comes the Talonflame, and you know already, Golisopod is hungry for more. Golisopod wants to get the triple kill here today, and Golisopod is going to claim that one here right now. Goodbye, opponent. Honestly, you see already this Pokemon is so nice. We have a very decent lead for us here, and we're gonna get out the Quagsire. Again, Quagsire is not really ideal for us because this Pokemon has access to the move Stone Edge. I'm going to shield up the first one because I know that I have to shield up one anyway. Maybe they're going to let the Bug Buzz go through here. That would be very nice for me, and they do exactly that, allowing me to now farm them all the way down here. And I should be able to now go for some Bug Buzz or some Bubble Beams even against the opponent's Lickitung, but I think I just go straight for the Bug Buzz, which should put them into range 1 charge move of my Registeel as well, which is going to be very nice for me. As now 1 Focus Blast is going to knock them out, and they're still going to have to throw against me because our Arachnid was so bulky that we're going to be able to now go ahead, go into our Registeel, and we see the Medicham coming in. It's going to be a tough matchup though, because if Medicham going to be able to hit that Psychic, it definitely does a lot of damage, but we're going to be able to hit the first charge move here, which is really nice. As we see the Power Punch coming through here right now, I am forced to go for a charge move right now, and this is going to force the shield from the opponent, but now the opponent is buffed and they can go for the Psychic, which is definitely going to one-shot me from this range. And now it's all down to Registeel. We are full health, but you see the damage of the opponent. They're going to get to another Power Punch here as well, getting me lower, and I'm going to fully farm them down with a Lock-On, which is a very risky move as they still have the Lickitung in the back. Lick does a ton of damage, I have to hope for the debuff, and I get the debuff here against the opponent. So Lick has now basically a bulk point there, like we're going to take less damage from that, and the Body Slam will not be enough to knock us out. Without the debuff we would have been lost here, but like this, we will be able to still one-shot them with 1 Focus Blast and win this game here. Going up into the most likely final game, yeah, definitely the final game against an Amolga. And this team seems a little bit familiar. You might have seen it already on my channel. This might be someone that is subscribed to me as well, or they just had a similar idea with Amolga, Saysop of Quagsire, and very likely a fighter that's either a Medicham, a Buzzwole, a Toxicroak in the back. And at this point of time, I just have to hope that it's either the Medicham or the Buzzwole, because both of them I think I can still deal with, because I can at least do some damage against them. But if it's the Toxicroak, it's going to be a rough one. Here we have to try to get the Amolga low though. And this is the first step that we're going to have to take here, because as you're going to see right now, Discharge coming through, we're going to have to shield it. We don't have the best Amolga answer here. This would be different with the Galarian Stunfisk in the lead. That would have been a way better matchup for me in general. But I like this. They're going to be able to knock me out, but I'm going to be able to knock them out with the Arachnid usually, but they're going to go ahead and go into their Toxicroak here right now. And the only play that I have at this point of time is try to catch a Sludge Bomb onto my Registeel. This is literally the only thing that I can do in order to win this game right now. And yeah, you see already, it didn't really work out too well. But yeah, this is going to be it now for that one. We're gonna get swept by this Toxicroak, which honestly I kinda want to make a video about as well, but it's like kinda lower priority. But Toxicroak, a very cool Pokemon to have right now because it is just a very strong Pokemon with the Mud Bomb buff as well already before. So yeah, this is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Would appreciate, of course, all the support of you, as well as you're going to see 2 videos on the channel right now. On the left side, the recent one, and on the right side, the top teams for the Great League meta right now.